Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Joe here. 24.2 was just released. Super exciting. So what we have is a 300-meter row, we have 10 deadlifts, and we have 50 double unders. So this is my instant reaction, something we had done last week. We're gonna be doing every week through the open. Just so you guys know, as soon as the workout's released, I'm essentially doing it so I can give you a raw opinion of the workout. So with the 300-meter row, I felt pretty good on it across the whole 20 minutes. I was able to keep a pretty steady pace. I think just getting that row up to speed, getting it going, find a pace you know you're comfortable with. The row never really felt too bad. 300 meters is about a minute to a minute and 15 seconds, depending on your kind of row pace. On the deadlifts, depending on where you're at, 185, 125 is prescribed. There is a scale, which is 135/95. Just making sure you have that good setup position, nice clean pulls. If you feel like you got to break them up, I don't think that's too big of a deal. You're not going to lose too much time there. And we're going to be turning it over to Kevin and Stacy in a minute, which they're going to talk about some of the points of performance of that deadlift, as well as some warm up kind of cool down procedures. On the double unders, full disclosure for me, I'm dealing with a little bit of a right knee wonkiness. I did 3 rounds of dubs and then my knee just started hurting too bad, so I went to single unders, but I wanted to do the full 20 minutes to give you a full reaction. Depending on your ability to do double unders, it's really not that big of a factor. I know a lot of people are gonna be intimidated by the time domain. I honestly found that at the moment, I was kind of getting sick of rowing. I was done with the row and then I was on the deadlifts. By the time I was kind of done there, I was on to the dubs. I felt like it had a really nice flow. It didn't feel long. It was definitely a fun workout. But let's get after it. Hopefully I'll see all you guys Friday night, and let's have an awesome 24.2. And now we'll turn it over to Kevin and Stacy. Thanks guys. Deuces.
All right, welcome back guys, 24.2. Hopefully your backs aren't blown out because it's another back one. Guess what? So we're gonna unlock some hips here again. So Stacy's gonna step her leg into the band here. We love using the band because it's multi-dimensional. Get it as high as you can on that hip.
Make sure you leave the bands out for Joe to clean up after the workout too. He loves that.
So come all the way back to the hip. The only thing that we're changing here is we're just gonna have both legs in the same position this time. So bring the other leg forward. And wanna come down, put your hands down to the bottom. And we're gonna see if we can turn on our quads, go ahead, while also lengthening that hamstring. So go ahead, give me 10 of those. This is making sure that at the top of the deadlift, we've got to be able to come and unlock the hip with the quad activation. Keep going. Make sure the back is, again, staying outside of the picture as much as possible. I know it's high volume. Keep going. Nice, and make sure you get a nice, good quad activation through there. You will switch sides, do about 10 on each side just to get started. Okay, after that, deadlift mechanics. This is a back blowout. So especially at this high volume, studies have shown actually that the injuries with the back usually happen with high volume and low load, which is exactly what this workout is for some of you. So we're gonna place the band just by where our hips are at. This is gonna teach you, actually, we'll pull this up a little bit. Go ahead. So this is gonna teach you exactly where you should feel the initiation of power, okay? So the band's gonna be right by the hips. Stacy's gonna, lean over, and then come back up and squeeze the glutes and come to the top, good. So give me 10 of those. Let's do a couple, Stacy, with your hands out in front of you, pretending like there's a barbell in front of you. Good. A lot of the power should be generated from the hips again, because if you don't do that, that low back starts to have some issues. Good. Another thing I want to mention here, go back into the same position. So come over here to the back side to see the low back. As you get tired, that back will start to arch. So do a bad arch, and just lift with your back. There's a lot of movement through, keep going. A lot of movement through here, very little through the hip. You don't want to do that when you're doing your deadlifts. So keep going, just show a bad rep.
It's really hard to do.
Good. So that's a lot of movement through that back and we don't want to see that. So keep that locked up, do a good rep now. So that stays locked up. Open up through the hip. Again, that stays flat. This band teaches you where the initiation of power should be. Full foot pressure through the ground, okay? Good. Now that you understand the skill set, let's go to the barbell. Couple cues we give for deadlifting. First, when you step up to the bar, notice where the bar is positioned in your feet. I know with transitions, you're gonna have to get better at this, but that bar should be right about where your laces are at. Your shin should be right up next to it. You're gonna hinge through your hips and not through your low back. Now, in this static position, Stacy's gonna think about pushing her feet away and standing up, not pulling up. 2 different movement thoughts, good. Come back and squeeze. And do that again, good. Initiate that movement through that hip like we just practiced with the band. That's where you want all your power to be generated so you don't smoke your back. You're gonna have 20 minutes is a very long time on this workout. Keep coming back up. Another thing I want to mention, go back down to the bottom. Deadlift is as much of an upper body as it is a lower body. So when you get set up underneath the barbell here, make sure you're grabbing the bar and you're kind of twisting your elbows back and your shoulder blade should be pinned back and down. Now at that same rate, you don't want to come here and then arch. You want to stay nice and locked in and then pin those guys back. Bend the bar and drive the barbell up. Good, and squeeze. Nice, very nice. I also want to talk about head position here. Make sure your chin is staying tucked. You don't want to be coming here and looking up while you're doing the deadlift. So keep an eye about 45 degrees out in front of you, like so. And keep your eye there the whole time while you're doing those 10 reps. Good. And down. Nice. Where do you feel that stays?
In my booty.
Very nice. Good. So that's deadlift mechanics. Again, high volume. Make sure when you come up to the barbell, you're going to be breathy, especially coming off the row and the double unders. Set yourself up first. The first setup is the first this thing you want to continue to maintain, because if you don't do that, all 9 reps are going to be shot. So let's avoid that at all costs. Next one for the calves. We're going to use the barbell again. Double unders or single unders is high volume again. We're looking at probably in the close to the upper hundreds of these, or lower hundreds I should say. So we're going to get your legs up on here. Just one leg at a time first. So we're going to kind of find closest to our knee first and find some tender points on that calf. So once you find it, Stacey's going to roll side to side. Good. And once you find one spot that's a little tender, hang out there and stop. And you're going to move your ankles up and down. Good. And try to make sure these calf muscles are nice and loose through the whole movement. We're getting a lot of volume through this. Good. And then now roll to the side again. Go again, up and down. Your calves are going to get smoked on this one as well, so we want to make sure that these guys are nice and supple. Good, and then roll down to the bottom. So find that tender point, hang out there, and really work that calf up and down. The more range of motion we can get at the ankle, the more pop you can get when you start doing the double unders, okay? So we want to unlock a lot of those. Do both sides. Make sure you're attacking all those positions. Make sure there's quite a bit of pressure through the top point here. If you don't have a good friend to do that for you, get the other leg on top and put a little bit of weight through that calf muscle, and make sure you can go up and down through the whole way. It's a little uncomfortable as you can see your face. Once you've unlocked that whole calf muscle, we want to come out of there. We're going to start with some easy, come up to this side, good. Some easy calf raises, nice and slow at first. So once we've loosened up the muscle, we want to introduce new blood flow, go up and down nice and easy. Good. Now do a little bit faster actually. Quicker heel taps. Nice. I would say do about 15 of each. After this one, now we're going to go into
Single unders, double unders.
yeah, single under doubles. You want to show them?
No, you guys don't need to watch me do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. No, go grab it. Let's go grab it. So we're going to start with single unders here. Nice and easy. Easy pop off the bottom. Obviously, the heels don't have to touch. Keep your eye gaze going straight out. Nice and easy. Relax with the shoulders. There you go. Nice. So easy warm-up that we always say, we're going to do 3 rounds, 30 seconds on the rower, 5 deadlifts at your desired weight, and then we're going to do 20 double or single unders, 3 rounds of those. Get used to the transitions between. More importantly, the setup as you get going into the position. A couple quick tips on the rower. I know people don't even know what they should look for in a rower. So we're going to make this pretty simple for us. When you look at Stacy, a couple things you want to look for. Go to the catch position. Stay there. That number, if you can see a clock here, you don't want to go past 11 o'clock. You kind of want to stay in that 11 o'clock window, and on the back side, no further than 1 o'clock. You don't want to overarch in the back position. Yep, and to come through. Make sure the pull is usually right around the knees is where we recommend it. Once the bar kind of hits the knees, that's when you go into that full extension and pull. If you pull too early, come over to this way, we'll show you what we're going to see here. If you go to display setting, this is something that tells us how you're pulling. Okay, so Stacy, do a bad pull for us. It's like a little disjointed.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
So like pull with your arms first and then your legs. Okay, you gotta do a bad one. Come on.
There you go. That's not bad.
Like you need double peaks. Come on.
I don't know how
A
to
really
do
bad
that.
one.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So this is what we call a force graph. We're trying to see how much pressure, how much force can she generate on this side versus time on this side. When you're doing this, you want a nice little upside down umbrella. A nice little parabola is what we're looking for. So do a good one. That's what we're looking for. A nice little peak that shows that your power distribution or energy per row is efficient, making sure that you can at least maximize what you're doing every time you row. A couple other things when you do this. Look at the dampener on this side. Most people keep it within the 4 to 7.
4 to 5, I would
4 to
say
5
is probably
range.
the best.
There's really no need to go higher than that on this one, especially for a workout like an AMRAP. You want to keep it in a manageable range. What you want to do is make sure that pull is being efficient through the legs. So Stacy, slow it down, the motions. So we're going to start with the legs by pushing off through the ankles, the knees, and once it hits the knees, that gives you the permission now to pull with the arms and go into that full extension. Now on the way back though, the hands have to come first, and then you reverse through the hip, the knee, and the ankles, and then do that again. And then pull. The hands are the last to pull, but the first to come back. Go again. Nice. Another thing I always like to tell people with AMRAPs is your breath work. Know how to breathe through the movements. So I would say inhale on the way in, exhale on the way back, and exhale on the way back. Good. Every time you're exerting force, you want to make sure that you're pushing and pulling. Same thing with the deadlift, same thing with the double unders. Find a breath that you can keep and maintain.
Ankle extension, knee extension, hip extension, pull, and then reversing it. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles.
Yep.
Just think about that every time. Because a lot of times when we get tired, we start to collapse our knees early, and then we go over the mountain versus letting our arms release and then let our knees bend.
Perfect. All right, guys, 24.2, that's pretty much what it is. Simple movements. Just because it's simple doesn't mean you should get a little lax on your form. Continue to stay focused through every movement. Breathe. Go have fun. Don't hurt yourself. You still got one more week to go. Have a good one, guys.